Alrighty, welcome to the Ogre and the Ass podcast. Hey there, Eric. How you doing today, man?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Good to hear. So, this is our first podcast. Let's introduce ourselves just a little bit. People are going to be wondering who the heck we are and why they should even be listening to us. So, let's give them a good reason. Introduce yourself for us.
Well, for starters, my name is Eric Thomas McCrae, and there is no reason to listen to me at all. So, with that said, going forward, definitely try and listen to me to see what you can do / don't do. Whatever comes in my mouth, do your best not to take advice from me. But if you do, take the good things. That's all I got to say about me.
Good introduction. So basically, expect low expectations.
Exactly.
Like
You'll
that.
be happy.
Be happy going into that.
Yes.
Okay. Well, my name's Thomas Whipple. Definitely going to do our best to give you a good reason to listen up. Hey, if you people are just listening to us right now, just so that they can escape their lives and just laugh at us, not even with us, but just at us, who cares? At least someone's getting a laugh. You know what I mean? And we're going to have fun doing this anyway. So everyone might as well enjoy themselves. All right. So Eric, introduce yourself about where you're from.
I am from, born in East Palo Alto, but I claim the 209 Modesto, California area.
Absolutely. 209. So talk about Modesto a little bit.
Well, Modesto's an interesting place because a lot of people, when they do know it, they say it's an okay place or it's Modesto. I'm the latter. I'm the it's Modesto because we have a spectrum. One side, we have Scott Peterson. You all know who Scott Peterson is, especially if you're in your 20s and 30s. And on the other spectrum, you have George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars, who went to a school just down the street from my school. So we're there on the map, just not in a good way sometimes.
Right, we're there. You'll hear of us. Type in Modesto. It's kind of like just like a raffle. You don't know what you're going to get. First thing you type in when you get Modesto. We should do that. I'll pull my computer up here one of these days. Just type in just Modesto. What do we get first? Okay, well, that's pretty good. So obviously we grew up together in the 209 back in Modesto. Got to represent 5 Points over here. For me, if anyone who doesn't know about Modesto, you're doing all right. If you don't know about Modesto, you're doing all right. You drove past it, good for you. Right next to Stockton, California, where we got the Diaz brothers come out. Obviously, that's where Nate Diaz has his famous Stockton slap.
Yup.
Give it to him. So, talking about 5 Points just a little bit. So growing up, my dad had a very small upstairs apartment, about 100 yards away from 5 Points. And obviously 5 Points was like, back in the day, back in like 70s, 80s, 90s, that was the place to be. The people would take their classic cars and they'd cruise up and down McHenry. McHenry Road, just up and down all day, just having fun. But starting in the 2000s, stuff definitely changed. And it was not that way anymore. 5 Points is now basically like the center of Modesto, where it's you'll get your homelessness there. You definitely get your crime action happening there. It's right by downtown, like all sorts of stuff.
When I think of 5 Points now, I think of the 5 Points from the movie Gangs of New York, with the New York gangs.
Right, everyone just shows up.
Except for all the crackheads, though.
That's right. So we got crackheads, homeless people, gang members.
And they all want that spot of Modesto,
right.
Just that spot.
Right, you own 5 Points, so you got to run that street. And oh man, spending time there. I don't know how many times there was people who were trying to break into my dad's apartment. Someone actually did it once and got in. That's a whole nother story for another time, though. But no, so much history down there. But man, just not a great place to grow up. Don't put your kids there. If you go to Modesto, do not go to 5 Points. That is for sure.
Don't go to Modesto. How about that?
Yeah. You got family there? Oh, I'm so sorry. Looks like we never seen you again. Okay. So Eric, why did you want to start a podcast?
Well, I want to say years ago when me and you first moved out of California, we moved to Rexburg, and we talked a lot about a podcast because we can cut up together. We're pretty good at having conversations and fun conversations too. And one thing I learned was about myself is if I don't have a good reason to do it other than I want to do it, then I probably won't do it. But, years later, I'm 29, I'll be 30, in December. So practically 40. I'm just going to claim it now, And so I figured might as well just get on board now and do a podcast. What do I got to lose?
Right. Except your dignity.
Yeah, exactly. And that's been gone.
Right. We don't have that anymore. I like that. Guess asking myself that same question, why to start a podcast. I don't know how many times we were out and people would just say like, you guys should totally start a podcast. And I was... Part of me back then was like, no, I can never do that. A little too camera shy. I definitely am not good getting in front of cameras like that. I remember like with family, like our family photos, like my brother and I, it was a pain just to get us into cameras, like into the camera frame and then let alone smile. not our thing.
You know, I actually seen your child pictures. You know, you look pretty adorable, actually.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You don't need to bring that up.
Facebook him, ladies and gentlemen. He's pretty adorable as a kid.
I don't know what happened now. There's a reason I'm called the Ogre. That's a good question, actually. Why the Ogre in the ass?
Yeah. Well,
so okay. First and foremost, who's the Ogre?
Boy,
people are gonna wonder. We got to answer people's questions.
Well, who's the most goofy looking one? I guess. I don't know.
Oh yeah, let's not all put our hands up at once. Yeah, we're definitely gonna answer that as fast as we can.
How about this? I don't mind being the Ogre certain days, but most days I do feel like the asshole because I say the things that shouldn't be said, either online or in person. And sometimes I get in trouble. Sometimes I don't. But
how many times have you trolled on the internet, like on Facebook?
Oh gosh, dude, between 2016 and 2018, 19, it was it was
a rampage.
Yeah, it was a rampage. I had people mad. And the only reason I'm not doing it now is because I'm just like, you know what? People know how I feel about them. I shouldn't reinvent the wheel. I'm done. All right. And I'll do a few things here and there making fun of conservatives as a libertarian, but that's it. I'm done.
Just conservatives? You just go after conservatives?
Yeah, because the left knows how I feel about them. Okay. But conservatives, they irk me. All right.
Oh, okay. We're going to have to get into that a little bit more one of these days for sure. I didn't know they irked you. I didn't know we still use the word irked.
Well, we do.
We do.
I'm 29, so we do.
I like that. Okay. Yeah, and exactly like that when we would just go out, man, and people were just like, you guys should totally start a podcast together. All the times I was like, yeah, why? Like, even though I was scared to get in front of a camera and definitely talk to people, I don't know, just sitting there wondering like, yeah, maybe we should. Because obviously if people want to be part of a conversation, people want to listen to someone they feel comfortable around. And I think one of the gifts that you and I have ever brought to people is that we'll take up all the stupid in the room. There's not enough for everyone else. It's just ours. And so everyone else feels like, oh, since the stupid is with them, I can be me. You know, we're all so scared of having the shame put on us, I feel like. And so when someone just kind of goes into a room like, okay, we'll be stupid. We'll be the dumb ones here. We'll be the Ogre and the ass. And that's kind of our thing. Like we go into a place, we'll be the Ogre and the ass. It's okay. And I don't know how many times people have come up to us and just been like, man, you guys are so funny. Or you guys aren't scared to like do this and that. Like, how do you guys do that? But there's plenty of times, like if I'm by myself, I'm totally quiet. Like I'm just like, no, I don't really feel like doing anything. And I think that just comes off like when you and I are just in a room together.
Yeah. And that's the point too I brought up to you. I think it was the other day. I was like, this podcasting thing, I've seen people do it solo, but it's not the same.
No.
And so for me to do it solo, just like with my YouTube videos now, it's cool. It'd be okay. It'd be mediocre, but it's more fun with somebody else there. And so, yeah, it's definitely more fun and, more motivation to do it when you have a partner with you to bounce off of.
Oh, yeah. Being able to have someone that you can just bounce things off of, just have fun, laugh at each other. And that's what I love is like when we would go out and like go hang out with other people, that even if everyone else was boring, everyone else was just a stick in the mud. I see that's kind of aging me using that term. But everyone else was a stick in the mud that you and I would still just go and just be like, we're going to be stupid. I think we'd even do that. We'd even say, oh, looks like it's time to be stupid.
Oh, yeah. We did that in Rexford. We started that. Yeah, it's called going out retarded.
Oh, nope. We can't say the R word
sorry,
here. Nope. Canceled.
Sorry. Hashtag not my podcast.
Please don't stop listening to us just because you said that. We're just learning. Okay, no, you're right. And I remember we'd go into Walmart and let's go out stupid. And we'd dress up in, we'd look as homeless as possible.
Yeah, I had my yoga pants on and I had the little raccoon hat.
Oh, you remember the Morph Suit? You had that Morph Suit.
Yeah, the Morph Suit. I still got that too, actually.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, I've not seen that thing in forever.
I'll put it up, yeah.
I love that. So you were in a Morph Suit, a raccoon hat, a furry jacket with Timberlands on. So I think when you wore the, and maybe I'll have to find a picture of it somewhere and post it up of the old video. I think I still have it. But I remember, like, if you had on the Morph Suit, you didn't wear any pants with it. So
no, I did not.
All skin tight. I was like, well, I hope this is legal. Although it's Walmart. So whoever dresses nice to Walmart. That's like actually the thing. You don't dress nice to Walmart.
Exactly. Have you been there at 3 o'clock in the morning?
I will never forget. I will never forget being with my mother. We were going Christmas shopping for someone, and maybe it was me. I don't know. I just remember we're like kind of in the toy section. There was this lady that was like way down the aisle, and I was kind of looking at her, and she was like more of a heavier set woman. Not trying to be mean, but she was, and
she was thick.
But with like 3 C's.
Oh, okay,
not the 2, but the 3. Okay. I just kept noticing she kept pulling up her pants. I was like, oh, okay. Like I'm a kid. Like I don't know anything about anything. Not saying I do now, but back then especially not. And I'll never forget She turned towards me, and the front of her pants is not like it's not staying on. Like she's having to pull the front of her pants. I was mortified from what I saw. I will never forget that to this day. And I'm just sitting there like this very large woman is hanging out her darn near her genitalia right there. And I'm not even a teenager yet, Eric. And I will never forget that.
Did it turn you on?
Oh my gosh. Did it turn me on?
Yeah, did it?
That's why I like bigger women now. That's what did it. No, I was a kid. I felt mortified.
About to be a man.
Please don't tell me that's how you get through manhood. No. And I remember, so we have a buddy named Sean Huey. He would wear his Adventure Time outfit. You remember his onesie?
Yeah, I remember that. That was
his
cute.
Adventure Time onesie. No, that was awesome. Seeing him wear that. And then I would wear a raccoon hat, just like when you had a robe.
Oh, yeah, the robe.
My booty shorts I had at the time. I had like these booty shorts I wore for rugby. And my big work boots. I keep them in the back of my car still. So my big work boots. And we were just like, hey, we're going out stupid. And I'll never forget that. Buying like bags of chicken and stuff. Oh, that was good times though.
Oh, yeah. House full of chicken and rice. That's it.
We aren't much better now, but
I know, true.
clearly why we have to host everything in our own house and not have our own studio. Okay. So Eric, what do you hope to accomplish with the podcast?
Well, the main goal is to, of course, make sure people understand, who we are, who I am, who you are specifically. And then also, hopefully not every podcast, of course, because it's always impossible to bring people on every single time. But most of the time, try and bring people on who have certain ideas, certain talents, something that they're doing with the community, mainly small businesses, small business owners that we can get out there. Because, as a libertarian, I'm a big proponent of, small businesses. And, this is a great way to bring it out there for people. So that's what I'm hoping to accomplish. How about you? So for me, I know I definitely want to bring people on. People because here's one thing. We're not smart enough to educate people. Like that'd be, if we mark this down on YouTube as educational and it's just you and I, we lying. Yeah, it's not even little lying. We big lying to people. Special needs. Mm-hmm.
And so exactly, like I hope to bring people on here so we can actually have educational purposes too. But then one thing is like just to let people know like that two ordinary dudes like us can do something like this. You don't have to be anything special. You just got to be a little shameless in what you do. You're going to say stuff. You're going to do stuff you're not proud of all the time. Yeah. And you just got to buck up and do it.
That's one thing I actually like about Joe Rogan. You talk about being vulnerable. Andrew Schultz was talking about Joe Rogan in his podcast. And he says, that's the best thing about Joe Rogan is, he's very vulnerable. He has no ego when it comes down to it. He doesn't mind praising other people. And so that's what, that's one thing I'm hoping to, gather from this is definitely being more humble. Because like you said, we're going to be bringing on a lot of people who are smarter than us in their own, perspective fields. And, it can be daunting at times, but at the same time, it's like, hey, that's how it is. Sometimes you're the smartest one in the room. Sometimes you're the dumbest one. It's okay.
Right?
It's all right.
Just volunteer for that spot right there. Yep, you got me. I'll be the dumbest one in the room.
But that's okay. That's part of the business here.
But when people aren't used to just someone who can just be them. Like, yeah, like we're not gonna be the smartest ones in the room, but darn sure we're not gonna be the scariest ones. We're gonna be us. We're gonna do what we have to do. If a party's boring, we're gonna make it fun. And that's what I've always appreciated about it. Like when we can have those moments of letting people understand it's okay to be yourself. And it can be hard. And it can be a vulnerable choice too, just like what you talked about. But it's usually always the best choice. So one thing I hope to accomplish with this podcast is that people find that sense of belonging. People can hear us and just think, oh man, like they're willing to say things they probably shouldn't say, or they'll say things that's just stupid and they'll just keep going with it. And people need to learn to let go of that shame that's been put on them, maybe by society, by family, culture, whatever you want to put it as, and put it to the side and just be you. And I think it's so liberating. It's for not just for you, but I think that's that old poem. You remember that movie Coach Carter, where they talked they had that poem?
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, exactly. When you let yourself shine, you involuntarily allow others to do the same. And I truly do believe that. So I hope with this podcast that we can reach out to people and let them do that. Just let them know, just go be you. Why not? You got someone you want to go talk to? Is there a girl you want to hit up? A guy you want to go hit up? Do something you've never done before? Do it. In the next 10 minutes, find a way to do it. Text, call, sign up and do it. On your phone, pull over, do it. Just do it. Nike, dang it, we can't say that. Copyrighted. All right.
Wait, do they have just do it?
No. Is that patent? You're allowed to say it.
Okay, I was going to say, man. How do you patent words?
I don't know how many times I've written that. No, guys, just go out there and be you. Be brave and bold. Absolutely. And I think that's going to solve so many problems. Because honestly, for us, I think I used to have my own anxiety about even starting this podcast. But the fact that I was just like, nope, let's just go and do it. Let's just be out there. Let's just be us. Like, that's the best part. Like, I'm going to ride this out. Either I'm going to get canceled or it's going to go somewhere good. We're going to be blacklisted and okay, well, we'll see what happens from there, you know?
Well, I'm not much of an actor anyway, so it's not like I'm making it to Hollywood.
All right. We ain't got the faces for Hollywood. We don't. I could be an ogre. Oh, they're redoing the Lord of the Rings on Amazon. Dude, I could go be an orc.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Tell me.
It's just Hollywood is good at oversaturating the market with great work and then tearing it apart. Star Wars. Yeah.
I know right now people can't see it, but literally to my left, there's a picture of Boba Fett. And so,
yeah.
Yeah, we are Star Wars Star
nerds. Yeah, we're Star nerds.
Star Wars nerds. And yeah, definitely, I can agree with what you're saying on that. I don't know. I'm gonna give it a chance though. Amazon's made some good stuff. They really have.
I have faith that they'll do their best to live up to the book, but at the same time, it's Hollywood. They can oversaturate it, and I better not see a black elf. If I see one dark elf, I'm going to be so upset. I don't need a tokenized elf.
Please.
All right.
Okay, for those who are just listening, just so you know, Eric's black. He's allowed to say that. But so wait, tell me about the black elf. Tell me why that's your final straw. That's where you draw a line in the sand.
Look, we all know, J.R.R. Tolkien is from Britain. We all know that all his stories center around medieval times. Not Africa's medieval times, not the Middle East's medieval times, not even South America's medieval times, but medieval Europe. So I better not see one black face of an elf. All right? If I do, I ain't with it, man. That's all I'm going to say. All right.
Dang, that's what's crazy about you. You ain't trying to see your people succeed.
Not in Lord of the Rings. We got so many other universes we can tackle. But I don't want no tokenized white face turning black face elf. That's all.
Oh, dang. Okay. Put that in writing. Just let you know. So Amazon, you hear that? Better not be any black elves, according to my man right here. I like that. Calling it out. All right. So, Eric, do you got anything you want to finish up with before we get going?
Yeah, I actually do. I was going to say one of the reasons we started this podcast too was because there's a guy who we work with. He's our marketing guy. His name is Adam, and his wife is named Ashley. They're good people. Last name Breakers. First name greatest, last name ever.
Thank you, Drake.
And so my point is they definitely pushed us to, use YouTube and use Facebook and Instagram for social media marketing. And so that's part of what we do here also with small businesses, and also what we do with our businesses, help other people's businesses. So anyway, though, but Adam and Ashley, they're the ones who mainly, gave us the idea to use the internet to market things properly.
Yeah, no, and big shout out to Adam and Ashley for believing in us to do this, pushing us in this direction. If honestly, I don't think we would have done it until they finally said, guys, just do it. Just go for it. Like that probably would have been, I think that was the final straw. Definitely big shout out to them. Something we're going to do is I'm really excited for is to bring on small businesses. So I guess something to even talk about for me is like, that's something I do on my off time already, is that I have an online digital marketing agency. And so helping small businesses grow, I would love to use this podcast to get people's names out there, just so people know what's around them, what's going on, and what it got other people started. Like, I love passion projects. What made someone want to start a business? Just getting this podcast set up kind of sucked. Let alone having to run and operate a daily business. Oh man, you got to have love and passion for that, I think. I can't wait to get people on here and listen to them talk about that.
Oh yeah. There's actually a person behind us. Thomas, what's that place called? That little ice cream place with the cinnamons?
Oh, the Churro Club.
Yeah, the Churro Club. Yeah, that place is made by a local family around here, and I would love to bring them on sometime because I think that they do a good job. The food's pretty good, actually.
Oh, dude, I went there and I ordered a churros sundae. That thing was huge. I was even on a date too at the time.
And was 2 days ago?
It was a little while ago. I don't remember. Oh. No, it wasn't 2 days ago. It was a little while ago. Oh. I went there. I remember I was just like, got the churro sundae. I was like, that shouldn't be that big because it didn't cost that much either. It was a great price. I get it. It was like a big thing. I was like, oh man. So my date's trying to talk to me. I'm like, I got to tackle this in front of me right now. She had a little cup of like ice cream and I get it. I didn't think my sundae would be that big. But when you put a challenge in front of me, churro and ice cream, no, it's game over. It's going down. Like,
diet? What's that?
Diet?
I ain't never heard of one.
Right? I ain't heard of her. No, definitely not what you use for diets, not ice cream and churros. That does not help you. I did feel sick, but I felt like a man afterwards. Yeah. So I'm excited for where we're going to go with this, man. Definitely bring people on. And definitely if anyone ever has like ideas for like or questions they want us to answer, that's one thing I think we should always have. Even if we don't ever have guests, we'll always have questions that we want to answer and we can go back and forth on that.
Yeah.
Like just kind of divulge more about it and give things the proper timing that they need. I'm excited. I really am. And I know like some of the people I've been talking to about it that they're just like, yeah, let me know when you guys do this. So I think it's really cool too that whenever you start a passion project is how receptive people are to you. Cause I think there's something in everyone that's like, man, I kind of wish I was doing something like that. You know, we all want to do our own thing. Like who wants to go work like for themselves all the time? Like obviously we still have to go to work.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like when you start your own passion project, people kind of see that as like, man, like I wish I was doing something because most people just go to work, they go home and they just do something to dull their mind instead of really using it. And in the last week of just getting this podcast set up, oh my goodness, it's been like a tsunami of research that we've had to do. Just even editing, getting new editing software, all that stuff, man, that we have to do all that work for it. Yeah. But that's why I'm so excited. I love that. The fact that I was like, this is just a big learning opportunity. And when you do that stuff, everyone else is like, well, man, like, can you help me out? Like, can you do this for me? Can you show me what you did? And you're inspiring people around you to go out and be great. I truly do believe that when you finally just take that leap of faith, you give faith to everyone else around you too.
Oh yeah, I'm going to say yeah. Speaking on that, you know, I want to testify what my companion over here
said. Oh, don't do that. No,
we're not going missionary mode.
No, we're not missionaries.
Testify. Here. All right, but no, seriously though, this is a kid out there in Modesto, California. He's still in the trenches. Name is Ace Reed. He's a up and coming musician. He does a lot of music, and you know him pretty well. Too,
yeah.
And definitely he's definitely inspired me too. You know, within the last couple years, because I didn't know how good he was going to be with the music. Like, you know, people always say they want to be a musician, but how many people actually make it? You know, even if you make it small, you know, small wise. But he's done a pretty good job. I've heard some of his music. I've seen his other samples that he's been working with other people. He has customers coming in. He charges them. So I'm just like, you know, on the DL, he has his own little business, and I'm really surprised by it. Not to say that I think he can make it, but again, a lot of people say they're going to do things, especially musicians.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
You're right. Like a lot of people go out there and like, yeah, I can do this. Yeah. I'm going to do this. Shoot, I think we've done that before.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know I have.
And he did it the first try, you know. He was a one pump chump. He went out there.
Oh gosh,
he got it done.
One pump chump.
He got it
done. Can we not make that correlation with him, please?
Okay. I'm sorry,
poor guy. We just ruined his career.
Look,
and yet somehow he wants to come on here. He's one of the people who've already volunteered to come on.
Oh yeah, and he's good. What I'm trying to say is, you know, I agreed what Thomas said about, you know, motivating. Ace is definitely one of the people who motivated me, other than, you know, Adam, Ashley, Reeker, to definitely go out of my way and just do it. So, yeah.
You know, and so besides Adam and Ashley and Ace, name 3 people in your life who have been super influential for you, like to get you to this point. Who have helped you get to this point?
Oof. I think it's pretty easy. You know, I'm going to clump in, you know, all the elders in my family, you know, because they've all done great things, whether they be in the military, you know, radio host, or, you know, whatever the case may be, they've all done great things. Like my grandma, you know. And then my mom, you know, she definitely makes sacrifices. She took a major L. She could have just, you know, aborted us. You know, it made it a lot easier on herself.
Right. Poor moms, man.
Exactly. But she said, you know what? I'm going to bite the bullet and I'm going to do this. And so, you know, my elders, my mom, and then I don't know. You should say that's. I would say this the third spot for maybe like, you know, the Elon Musk of the world. You know, the people out there who go out there and, you know, and say, let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah. And, they have no business, doing what they did. Like, for example, Elon Musk had no business, making it to outer space. That's not his forte. He's not NASA.
Oh, he started on PayPal.
Yeah, exactly.
He was one of the first creators of PayPal. And now he's talking about going to Mars, like going out there, colonizing Mars. Like, that's insane.
Exactly.
That jump.
Exactly. Normally that's sanctioned by the government,
Oh, yeah.
to do something like that. He's like, no, forget about it.
And isn't that crazy, too, that he's doing that? And he's following regulation, but he, obviously that way he falls for tax purposes probably, but he's just this independent guy. He's like, no, I want to go to space and I want to start this. And he put everything on the line for it. Yeah, I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So I know for me, my three people who are so influential in my life. So first I'm going to give it to my mom, obviously. She's a champ. Like you said, she could have just aborted us. Probably should have, but hey, that's up for debate. It's all right. So I'm the youngest of 3 kids, but I guess now I've been replaced by the dog. So
dog is cuter.
Right? It doesn't talk back as much, doesn't eat as much either. Man, I told her that too. I'm like, it's your fault. Like, you raised me to eat that much.
If I don't know this, Thomas is a huge man.
I'm okay. At least 5'9". No, so, second and third are going to go to my grandma and grandpa for sure. Definitely, grandma showed me like tons of compassion. She's always been like really, really sweet. Grandpa, I always got like more of the firmer side, but I needed that. So he always taught me just like whatever you do, you got to work hard at it. And it took me a long time to actually realize why. So there was plenty of things in my life I know I have not worked hard at, even when I signed up for it. Like, unfortunately, and I can admit it, there have been things in my life I've quit, that I've stopped doing. I was like, this is stupid. Why did I do this? And I look back at it now and I'm like, I'm more ashamed of who that person was because I at least had that guidance at the time. I didn't realize what he was trying to teach me. But now, that he's gone, and I learned it too before he had passed away a couple of years ago. But especially after he left, I think about that all the time now. It's one of the things of like the work praises the man. And what does your work say about you? What is it that you are doing? Because I could say all these different things. I'm a big dude. I could go around like, oh, I'm going to the NFL. Like, I'm gonna be a bodybuilder, a strongman, powerlifter, all this stuff. I could say all of that. But really, like what you say and what you do are two very different things. And the work praises who you are and what you put in. And so now when I've always tried to commit, like whatever I said I'm going to do, I'm going to do it. But I'm always making sure it's a decision I am sure about. And if I go in that direction, then we're just going to bulldoze this. And that's what my grandpa taught me, that the work praises the man. And like where he was also a very firm man in what he did, obviously he had his own compassion too, his moments of compassion, his moments of giving you that praise you deserved. And what I loved is with him that you always knew where you stood. And I'll never forget, I'm going to go into a quick little story with him. So I was about like, oh man, I could have been like 15. And I'd go over to his house because he had a pull-up bar in the back. And I just do pull-ups. And I just loved visiting my grandparents, just going over to go say hi. So I'd go do the pull-ups in the back. And one day my grandpa left a bunch of wood out with an axe. And I was like, oh man, I want to start chopping wood. I just like chopping wood. That's what I do. And I just go to work on it. And I'm just like, man, I'm doing like one chop. Like I'm like the one pump chump, except I'm doing it on wood.
On wood.
Yeah. So no, I'm just cutting through the wood on one chop. So I'm feeling like I'm hyping myself up. My ego's getting bigger and bigger. And I'll never forget. Like I put one up. I'm like, I'm just going to just demolish this one. So I just wind up, come down on it, and I totally missed. Well, I'm sorry. The head of the axe missed the wood. And I went a little too far. So I swung too far out. And it hits the handle, completely like splinters the handle. And it's hanging on by like the smallest of threads. So it's like cut in half now, or the handle's like broken in half, with just holding on by a thread. And I'm like, oh no, my grandpa's gonna kill me. I remember having legitimate fear. I will not forget that. I'm like, I don't know what to do. Like I'm panicking in the backyard. And I just know he doesn't wake up for like a little bit longer. And I had to do like probably the most shameful thing. And I'd talk to him about it later on. But as a 15-year-old, I was so scared of my grandpa that I just put it back like where he had left it, put the wood nicely organized, hoping like he wouldn't realize it was me.
Real slick.
And then I ran home. And then later on, I came back that same day. I was going to tell my grandpa what happened. Because I knew by this point he saw it. He's not an idiot. That man was so smart and so vigilant. And I go out there and he just wrapped it up in duct tape. And I just, oh, okay. So he's seen it for sure. So I know now my grandpa's seen the axe And he's not an idiot. It's not like my grandma went out there and started whacking at wood. And I'm the only grandkid who really would like come around often at that time, like during that time of the day, because the other grandkids had stuff going on in the morning. So I go in and I just look for him, trying to find him. He's in the house and he was just in his room. And I just sit around in the front room. No, I'm just waiting for him to come out eventually. Finally, he comes out and he's like, "Oh, Thomas, how you doing?" And I'll just start shooting the bull with him, having a good conversation. And I'm just sitting there wondering, like, when's he going to bring it up? When's he going to say it? That he knows it's me. And I was like, "Hey, so Grandpa, like, I know you were chopping wood out there." He's like, "Oh, yeah. Yep, I have been chopping wood out there." And he just kind of looked at me. And then he just went back to doing what he's doing. And I was like, "Oh, okay." So eventually, like, he's waiting for me to just come out and say it. And eventually I just told him, I was like, "Grandpa, like, I just want to apologize. I'm the one who broke the axe and I got scared." And then he kind of goes into like, "You shouldn't do that when I'm not around. Like, you should have waited for me to wake up." You know, he reprimands me a little bit, but then he just follows it up with, "But it's nothing we can't fix." And it was wrapped up with duct tape and we went right back to work, chopping wood. I know that story seems so unnecessary, but to me, that is why he's one of the most influential people, and why when we decided we're doing this podcast, that we were going to do it, that we're going to have days we break some handles. And you know what? We're just going to have to tape it up and keep going.
Yep.
Especially on our budget. But hey, can't hate on it, you know?
Exactly.
We got to be ballers on a budget around here.
Make it rain nickels and dimes.
And that being said, any donations greatly appreciated.
Right.
We're okay. We'll do fine for now. And so, Eric, any last words that you'd like to say?
Work hard. That's it. I don't know. Find your passion. Go for it. You know, get money. You know, I'm not going to say the rest, but get money, insert the rest.
You know what to put there. No, absolutely. I'm excited to keep going on this. For anyone who keeps following us on our project, we hope you enjoy it too. We're going to bring people on here. We're going to talk about all different sorts of things. So don't expect any one particular topic. And if you have questions or you have something you want us to talk about, even just look stupid talking about, let us know. We are more than happy to do that. But until then, I guess this is where we're just going to call it. So, Eric, anything else for the people?
That's all I have. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen. Love and appreciate you.
All right. This is the Ogre and the Ass podcast closing out.